Fierce ladies, welcome to the Moms in Real Estate podcast, where we unleash our unapologetic power to share the raw truth of our journeys. Brace yourself for a dose of empowerment, education, and encouragement like never before. I'm Kristen, a relentless entrepreneur obsessed with connecting and uplifting fellow boss babes. In this podcast, we're all about getting down to business, conquering motherhood, nurturing relationships, and so much more. Get ready to dive into the nitty-gritty, embrace the hustle, and unravel the secrets of success in the world of real estate. We're here to ignite your fire, equip you with the knowledge, and unleash your limitless potential. Tune in as we redefine what it means to be a true boss babe. You girls have heard her before 5 years ago on Moms in Real Estate, and she's back. We're going to talk to Erin Etheridge today, and we're going to talk all things real estate. She's been an investor. She's been on a team. She's been off a team. She's been a solo agent. She's started a team. She's grown to a mega team. She's invested in tons of coaching programs, tons of different platforms. This girl gets herself in the right rooms, and we're going to talk about how. So why don't we get started with Erin Etheridge? Hi, Erin.
Hi, Kristen.
I'm so happy you're here because I know we're just going to shoot the shit like we usually do and have a blast.
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah. Okay, you guys, Erin has been a guest on Moms in Real Estate years ago. Like, I actually think it was like 5 years ago.
At least 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
It's
so
been a while.
A lot's changed since then. And
Yes.
we've been able to be in business together for, probably about 4 years.
Yeah.
We've vacationed together. We've literally, I feel like, done so much stuff, and we've just become really good friends. So I'm excited for you to share with everybody just like who you are and some of the amazing lessons you've learned along the way in real estate. So why don't you get everyone started and tell them a little bit about your real estate journey?
Yeah, my real estate journey, I am on, it's year 25, 26. The lines have been blurred at this point. Too many years.
That is a lot of years.
It's a lot of years, a lot of lessons, a lot of good, bad, otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
I have had a super big team, a medium team. I was a solo agent for a super long time because I just didn't really want to manage people.
Yeah. You were also on a team.
Yeah, I was also on a team. I worked for closure, short sales. I was one of the few girls down at the courthouse steps doing auctions during the crash. It's been a journey. It's been a journey. And now I have a team. I don't even know how many people are actually like with me right now. We had a huge shakeup this year, which it was really good for me because I want the people just like your clients, right? I've just learned a lot of good lessons of, I want to work with the people that want to work with me, but I also haven't been selective to really figure out my avatar of who I want to also work with. Yeah. You know? So it kind of forced me to really look at that. And
well, I think one thing I've learned from you is that, you know, like as you've grown, you've also like poured into yourself and invested in your business and like the growth that you've experienced. Like at first, like it's just like, oh my gosh, I'm growing a team and anyone can come on, and it happened really fast for you. And I think that sometimes we need that like reset and reevaluating and then like rebuilding the way that makes sense now that you know what you know.
100%. And I think it's one of those things, like I love real estate so much because it can really be anything that you want it to be. I know. Right? But then it can also overwhelm you also because it can be
because there's so many shiny objects.
Yeah, exactly.
We always joke with Erin, you guys, that if you're thinking about a shiny object, like should I or shouldn't I, just ask Erin because she's already bought it.
I've bought all of the things.
All of the things.
I love testing things out. I think I love like being a critic, right?
Yeah, you do like being a critic, which is great.
Like it's a natural personality, but it's not always great and it's not always received well by people. I'm just like, okay, maybe not everybody needs every single
once people get to know you, because I've been on the other side where I'm like, oh my God, that hurt my feelings. And then once I like really truly knew you and your heart, I'm like, I actually really like your critiquing me because I think that it just comes from a genuine place, and we always need somebody and people that like see us see our business to be giving like their input. And I think that as long as it comes from a good place, it's great.
It has to come from a good place.
And
Otherwise,
you are
you're just
always
like,
coming from a good place.
You're just bitching.
Yeah, you're just being a bitch.
Just being a bitch. I try hard not to be, but
You're not.
yes, I love buying all the products. I just bought 2 recently that I highly recommend. I'm so stoked
let's hear 'em.
about. So Shiloh has been an absolute
that
game
you've told me
changer.
about that. Okay, so
Yeah.
let's talk about it. What is it?
So game changer for myself and the team. So basically it monitors your calls. So we use Follow Up Boss, use whatever CRM works for you, right?
Yeah.
But Shiloh is able to monitor the calls, and then it gives you immediate feedback on the call of what you did well or what you could have done to make it be better,
Ooh.
as well as how much you talked and how much the client talked.
Wow.
Along with how many filler words you had, and just also coaching what you should say moving forward, what the next step should be. It's amazing.
So it's just like an AI tool. Can you tell it to critique based on, because I know sometimes like you can throw into ChatGPT, like based on Phil M. Jones, exactly what to say. Can you please X?
It's already based off of exactly what to say and question-based selling. It's already based off of that. And I think that that's what really appealed to me firstly. And then secondly, it's unbiased feedback. And then it has an AI button where you get to redo that call essentially.
Oh.
So you can re-practice that call of like, oh crap, I should have said XYZ, or I didn't set an appointment. So it ranks your calls 1 to 5, and 5 is obviously the highest where you set an appointment, you have clear intentions, life is good. And anything under a 3, so a 3 is kind of a standard, and anything under a 3 is just saying you didn't do all of these steps, like setting the next appointment, asking enough questions, things like that.
That's like a game changer. If you really think about it, it is so hard, especially as a new agent, as a team member of yours, like what value to be able to have that tool. And I know like everyone hates role playing. Like I haven't met anybody that likes it, but it is so essential for you to get better in your craft. And so to have like AI instead of it being a person would actually be so much easier. And I feel like you're probably going to be more prone to actually doing the work.
It is. And we had, well, I just canceled it. I've actually had that one. I've had Maverick for a long time, which Maverick is a great tool also. It has an AI component to it also, where you can call and it's an angry client or it's somebody skeptical or whatever, and you're role playing with AI. But it's kind of for what I needed at that time.
Yeah.
It's just not going to be moving forward.
Is Shiloh something that you'd recommend for any agent, or is it more for teams?
100% for any agent. So they have individual plans and for teams. For a team leader, if you don't have Shiloh, I think it's a huge mistake because I can immediately look in and be like, oh my gosh, I need to train that person real quick. Like,
I love that.
So I think it's really important to have it. If you are buying, if you have any kind of leads, if you've invested in leads as a team leader, it's essential.
Yeah. And you said something that I feel like we get asked this all the time in our Moms in Real Estate Facebook group, but it doesn't come up on the podcast. And I feel like you would be really good at elaborating on this. You said, we use Follow Up Boss. You use whatever CRM works for you. I think that a lot of times I hear people saying X is the best CRM. And I love that you just said that. So will you elaborate on why you said that?
Yeah, as far as CRMs, I really could care less what it is. I think the only important thing for me, and I think for most people getting into real estate, that they don't understand the importance of having a CRM that has an open API. Okay, so prior to this, I've had Sync, I've had Boomtown. Both are excellent. They just don't have the open API, and the open API is what is linking to all of the outside AI right now. So if you don't have something that doesn't allow for that, that would be the only thing that I would look at. Because at some point, all of these different AIs, right, it's changing so quickly.
So quick.
So
what do you say to the agent? And this is something that we talked about on a different podcast the other day, where a lot of agents are like, oh, I don't want to go to that brokerage because of X. And they stay at maybe like a small independent brokerage, but they might not be adapting AI the way that some of these bigger brokerages are. Do you feel like that's essential moving forward in real estate, to have a brokerage that's keeping up with AI?
100%. I think if you are not at a brokerage that is not only embracing AI, but also all of these, I believe that every single brokerage will end up being cloud-based. Whether they are or aren't, right now, I believe that all of them are going to head into that space. And in my opinion, I want to be with one of the ones that are a bigger one in the industry, I guess, for me.
Well, I think too, like you run a team, you run a high production business yourself, and to have the leverage and the tools that you need is just so important.
I think there's that, but I think it's also being said for team leaders to not lose sight of the money wise, right? Like I'm having my best year ever, I think, in real estate.
Yeah, you definitely are.
And that's saying a lot, 25, 26 years in the business, and I lost, I think, 13 team members this year, which has never happened in my 7 years of being a team leader. And what it allowed me to do was just change my focus, right? Change my focus back into what I'm great at, and that is with my buyers and sellers and connecting, as well as leading. But it doesn't have to be my main where I must have this work.
Yeah.
Right?
Totally. Okay, let's talk about, well, first of all, you said two different things that are a game changer in your business. We have to get to that second one. Shiloh, and what's number two?
Okay, Shiloh and then House Whisperer.
Okay.
So House Whisperer is an AI assistant. Okay. So you can call, you can text, you can do a voice memo to it. And basically what it does is it's connected to your CRM. So for me, again, it's Follow Up Boss, but it basically, if I'm on my way to a listing appointment, I can voice memo it and say, recap for me what Jack and Diana wanted in their next home, or recap all of the notes that we have.
So it's listening on your appointment.
Yeah. So it listens on your appointment. It updates all of the notes inside of your CRM. And it alerts you of like, you wake up and it's like, hey, Erin, today you have an appointment at blah, blah, blah. Don't forget these 3 top to-do tasks.
Love that.
And then it will keep following up with you of like, did you complete this? It shows right now that you have, and you're like, crap.
That is literally so amazing.
Yes. So it's all AI, right? And I just love that it is actively updating my Follow Up Boss notes and things. Because a lot of times we're in the car, we're driving.
And then we forget. Because we get home and our kids are yelling at us to make dinner or whatever it is.
100%. 100%.
That's actually really cool. So tell real quick, how much does that cost?
What a great question. I will never know.
We'll get back to you.
I will absolutely never know. Everything just runs on auto.
But I mean, think about it. If you have that, like it can, honestly, some of these AI tools replace a salary position.
100% it does. And that's the thing that I am really learning about AI is that everything is changing so quickly that if you are an agent and not using AI, and I'm not talking Chat GPT, like I'm not talking Chat GPT, I'm talking all of the other AI that we have available to us.
At your fingertips,
If you're not using it, you're going to be behind, I would say, inside of a year.
Yeah. Oh, I just have an idea. I'll have to talk to you about it later. Okay, so now I want to talk to you about what I mentioned earlier is like you are somebody that really invests in yourself and your growth personally and professionally. We talk about a lot on this show, making sure that you're getting in the room. So why don't you maybe tell our guests or our listeners, not our guests, a little bit about what getting in the right rooms has done for you in your business?
I think that that's really important. And for the people that know me, Kristen now knows me that I just don't really like there's a chip missing inside of my brain. And when somebody's like, oh, that's only for people that do 50 million, or that's only for,
you'll sneak your butt in there.
I just don't care. I'm just like, nope, that sounds like me. It sounds like I need to be there.
And I love that. That's a huge message to people. Like just, you can get in any room if you really try.
It's not just getting in any room, but it's also accepting that like no one has the right to tell you who you are or what you should be doing, or you're not there yet or anything like that, because also you make friends with the right people and you constantly have the invite to what you need to level things up. That said, realtors have an uncanny ability to sign up for all of these conferences and then they like taking in the information, but then they don't actually implement it.
Yep.
So that's a whole other.
I think that's just people in general. And I've been there. I think you've probably been there.
100%
where it's like, oh my gosh, I just had this amazing workshop or a class or conference, and then you leave and then life happens and you don't implement one thing. So what do you do?
So for me, I had to scale way back. I used to say yes to absolutely every single conference, because who doesn't love a winery? Who doesn't love an Orlando trip? But I have had to just really come to grips for family life as well as my business. Like it takes you kind of out of whack a little bit if you keep going out of town too. So I would say some of the events I never miss is Tom Ferry Summit. That's always the last week of August.
Yep.
Sometimes I go, and sometimes I just, you're able to Zoom it,
yep.
right? And so my whole team is able to attend that and do Zoom. But I think that that's really important, because it's industry leaders that you're hearing directly from what is currently working. Whether you're getting that at your brokerage or not, I think it's very important to hear from other industry leaders live and in person.
Yeah.
And then the Forward event, that's in July. That's Neil Dingra, and he does that it's the second week of July every year. I think it's sold out again. It sells out every single year, and that is everything: AI, technology, video, it's more about marketing and your brand.
Yeah.
And what you're going to implement for that year. I like it because it's a lot more about implementation. It's
tactical.
Tactical things that you can implement.
Yeah, I definitely think he's worth a follow for everybody in real estate,
100%.
Even outside of real estate, because like you're saying, it is so tactical, and I really appreciate that about him. And like Sharon is one of my other favorite people to go watch, is just because you leave and you're like, okay, like I didn't have to cut through a bunch of stuff. I just know exactly what I need to go do.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Okay, so what is something that you're excited about right now that you're working on?
I'm excited for so many different things, but I think the biggest thing is just pouring back into me and what makes me happy. Because I feel like as a leader, it's really easy to, kind of cater to everybody else or kind of mom a separate group of people, essentially.
Yeah.
And I love doing it. I love pouring back into other realtors, but at the same time, there was a part of me that was no longer excited or didn't feel great on that. So I think for me, I just started doing a lot more video, just locally speaking directly to my people, which it's only in certain cities. Like I'm not, Phoenix is 4.5 million people.
Yeah.
I'm not talking to everybody. I'm talking to only people in the East Valley.
Yeah. Well, why don't you texted me the other day and you told me some pretty impressive actual stats from what's been happening from your videos. Why don't you tell them?
So I've just been consistent with it for 2 months now. So 2 months of doing these like green screen videos. A lot of people do them. Katie Day was one of the original people. We've got several people in our marketplace doing them. But what it is basically just live local news events or news stories. Anything that you find on Google or otherwise, you just create it into a green screen reel.
Yeah.
And that's something that people really like consuming right now.
I like consuming it in my local market.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like even the news, I legit, well, not only is the news not positive and I don't.
We don't listen to the news.
No, exactly. But if somebody came on and was talking about a story with a green screen behind of whatever, I'd stop and listen to that opinion on that.
Well, I think we're all interested in like the up and coming restaurants or parks or whatever, because it does impact us, and we're always looking for stuff to do.
Totally.
And so you texted me the other day that you had, I think it was that you'd grown in followers. You'd had like 85 direct messages or something. And people that you're like, these people are actually going to turn into like my clients.
Yeah, I'm really excited to do, it's that push versus pull selling, right? Because I buy a lot of online leads for my team. So it's easy for them to click on something and then be like, oh no, I didn't click on something. I don't know what you're talking about, right?
It's so annoying.
It's super easy for that to happen.
Yeah.
But in this instance, they're people do business with people that they know, like, and trust. And so they're getting to know, like, and trust me through these videos.
Yep.
And I think that it's just very powerful. I've grown, I want to say 1,000 followers inside of a very short time period, but it's the direct messages and asking of like, oh, I want to know more about this community, or do you happen to know what's coming up over here? And then getting those people's emails and phone numbers and getting them into the CRM.
Yeah.
Right?
So do you feel like it's easy to get people's emails once you're giving them the value through the green screen content on what's coming soon?
100%.
Yeah.
Like do
you guys hear that? You always want to be thinking, how do I get people off of Instagram and into my database? And that's what she's doing.
And it's only the live local people that I'm targeting.
Which is exactly who you want giving you their emails.
Exactly. So it's a lot more fun having those kind of conversations.
Yeah. And if anyone's listening and they're worried about, oh, I don't have the right mic or video or blah, 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 what would you tell them?
Firstly, no one cares.
No one cares.
No one cares. But then secondly, Neil, if you wanted to attend a really good, he's on school.
Okay.
And you can do a membership. I think it's $1,000 or $2,000 for the year. I don't know. I'm never going to know.
It's probably $200 and you're like 2,000.
I have no idea. I actually just log into school, find Neil, and forward, because they actually walk you through what looks best. Just like here, you can see it's backlit. Mm-hmm. There's a nice camera. You get more views with the better quality. Yeah. Right? Like people enjoy watching it more with better quality sound, better quality cameras and things like that. But do I think you need to go blow a whole bunch? No. And it's such a good investment if you guys, again, like 85 direct messages. She's been doing it for 2 months. Correct. Probably more now because I think that text was like last week or the week before. But yeah. That's such a, like, it's probably such a small investment. Whereas I think sometimes agents are like, I'm just going to go like dump money into this lead source, where again, like you're getting these crappy leads where people are like, oh, I didn't click that. Like, right. So these aren't 100%. And I'm DM me or find me and I'm happy to give you all of the things that I'm currently like using. Yeah. You know, if it helps. And I think that that's so another thing, like you guys are all over the place. I don't know, every state we have listeners in. So if somebody's like, okay, I really like you, Erin. I don't want to be on a team, or I can't because I'm not local, but they want to be in proximity to you, they can. So why don't you tell them how they can? So one of the best parts about being at a cloud-based brokerage is we get to network and make frenzies with everybody throughout everywhere. Everywhere. It's been really fun getting to know people in other markets. And I just feel like the walls kind of come down a little bit more when somebody's not a local competitor. Yeah. I don't really feel that. I've never felt that. I've always just shared because the chances of us having the exact same buyer or the exact same seller, slim to none. Yeah. In 4.5 million people, right? Yeah. But some people just feel that naturally because we're in sales. Yeah. Right? That scarcity mindset. Yeah. So I've just found that by networking with people out of state, that it is just more beneficial because it's like, oh, what's your buyer packet look like right now? What's your seller packet look like? So we're at Real and it's just really easy to be in proximity with each other. And we've all become very good friends, and we're able to level each other up and get each other into those right rooms. Yeah. And making sure that like, hey, Kristen, are you coming to XYZ? Or I don't know if you heard about this one. This one really blew up my business. You know, we're openly sharing because we are connected through Real. Yeah, I love it. And you're obviously, like, me and Erin are, not obviously, a lot of you probably like have no idea, obviously. But me and Erin are connected. I'm one of her sponsors, and your other sponsor, I want you to speak specific to Amy, because I think that you're sitting here saying like, okay, so she's got someone in our local market, me, and then she's got Amy who's in Canada, who is, then you have like these other business partners who are completely new to all of us. And it's been really cool to, for one, meet them and collaborate with them, but to see how they've helped you too. So maybe speak to that. Yeah, I am so excited about being partnered with Amy. Yeah. And she is a huge builder in Canada, and she has already just given me so many tips and tricks and invited me into different rooms that I wouldn't have been able to. It's not that I wouldn't have been able to have, get into. You wouldn't have known about it. I just wouldn't have known about them. And I think that that's kind of more the proximity part of it, right? Yep. And I think that Amy and Kristen and Randy and all the people that we're partnered together with here at Real are going to build something absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
So
we already are. I love it.
I know. It's really
and we have so
fun.
much fun.
Did you know I'm officially 1 year in? 1 year at Real now.
I'm 13 months.
Yeah.
Yay. Happy anniversary. Oh my gosh. This is why this podcast got pushed back to this month. Happy anniversary.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you guys can come and travel with us, and we have a shit show of a time out of state.
We do.
Sharing rooms because we accidentally booked the wrong hotel, and
I definitely did do that. I bought one too many things.
We have so much fun in real estate. That is one thing that I love, is that like we have so many great real estate agents all across the United States, and these events like coming together, meeting in person, hanging out. It's such a game changer. Okay, so we're going to end it with the question of, okay, you're starting a new business, new real estate business, let's say, and you have to go in with a business partner who's an influencer. Who would it be?
I dislike influencers so much.
Do you know how often that is like the answer? Neil is an influencer.
Okay. So
if that helps reframe your mind a little bit.
Yes, because my real concern on that is that an influencer is targeting so many people, right? That's literally it. They're influencing you, right?
Yeah.
I prefer having that connection with somebody, and that I can pick up the phone and make sure that my questions are being answered and that they are introducing me to the right people.
Yes.
Where it's just been my experience that an influencer, it doesn't necessarily have the time that I want personally. As far as influencers, though, I love Jenna Peterson.
Yes.
And I love Neil. That's such a tricky question for me because I am an anti-influencer.
I know. Okay. Just think, like, if you and Neil were to go start a business right now, you'd be excited about it.
Yeah, of course.
So that's the way. I think that when we say influencers, we're thinking like just annoying. I don't know. But I think that Neil would be a good one for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that Neil would be awesome. I mean, Neil's great at everything.
Or like, I think like, one of my answers is Jenna Kutcher, right? Like, I just feel like I could always learn so much from her, and I would just love to be in proximity to her. So like, that would be like one of mine.
Yeah, I think that Jenna's awesome. Like there's several that are awesome. Like, I'm not saying that they don't do good things.
Yeah.
It's more that I don't connect with them.
I totally get that.
I like hear a message and it just goes,
yeah. Okay, so I know everyone's going to want to follow you. Tell them what your Instagram handle is, because you have like 3.
I have 3, and the only one currently that you're going to want to follow is the Etheridge team, the _Etheridge.
And that's the account where all your green screen videos are on. So you're definitely going to want to go follow her, check her out. Comment on her videos if you're checking them out and looking at them. Send her a message. Tell her you love her. All the things.
Yes, I love all of the things. Or you can feel free to critique me.
Yeah, totally.
For
Let's
sure.
see who's brave enough to do that.
Do it.
All right. Thanks. Thanks, friend, for listening to the podcast. We love having you in our community. If you enjoyed our podcast, please leave us a review or share it with a friend. Also, we'd love to connect with you on Instagram. Go follow us at Moms in Real Estate.